Artcore with RAV. Artcore with RAV. Artcore with RAV. Hi, welcome back to another video with me, Rav. This is Artcore with Rav, me. So today we are going to be learning trees because nobody knows how to do trees, I think. Unless you're in Fur's server, but anyways. Yeah, so today's tutorial is about trees. I'm gonna try and skip all of my rambling and just, yeah, get into it. Oh yeah, also, I've been having, like, a couple of problems with, Geometry Dash literally just crashing out of nowhere while I'm playing. So I'm gonna be saving a lot throughout the tutorial, but anyways, yeah, also if you have a fix for that, please let me know in the comments. So I loaded up in the first level of my 2.2 level series, Operation Wild, and I just wanted to come in here so that I could show you guys the finished result and how I do my trees. This is a really good basic and easy way to make a tree, and it's actually pretty modular. You'll notice that I have these parts that are kind of just like chilling down in the bottom. Also, you can see those mountains in the background. Once I master making mountains. Alright, so let's move on to the Artcore tutorial level real quick. Yeah, so what we're going to do is, as always, we're going to start with blocking out our tree. And I'm basically just going to do a regular pillar tree thing that you saw earlier. Let me get my brown. I'm going to do a basic pillar type of tree that, you know, that I showed you before. So literally all you need to do is this. This is all you need to do for your basic pillar. Now the pillar is going to give all of the detail that we give up front a little bit more structure. So it's very important that we have that. It makes it much better for us to do the thing. Now I'm going to take this object, maybe scale it up a little bit. There we go. And just move it up. Doesn't really matter how much you kind of move it up. If you have variation, it might give you a bit more realistic of a situation. Mess around with the brightness, mess around with the saturation. You already know. This is Artcore. All you do is mess around with the HSV sliders to see what happens. Oh, that's a little bit too dark for this, I think. I'm going to bring it like that. Cool. Awesome. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to link it all up so that I can easily select it in the near future. And we basically just make these edge pillars, these edge pillars here. Now, when you're optimizing and stuff like that, you can cut off anything that's not seen. Obviously, it makes your life it makes the life of mobile players and stuff a lot easier. Let me just fix the Z order. This will be 3, I think. So we're gonna make, actually I'll come back to that, but I'm just going to select this again, and just to be like not very lazy, just to make sure that we get as much variation as possible, I'm gonna make the pillar again instead of just going ahead and copy pasting it onto the other side, just to, well, that's wonderful. Okay, we're back. I've redone the thing. Cool. Alright, so yeah, basically we have the outer edges done, we have the inside done. Let me lower the brightness of this inside. It doesn't need to be nearly this bright. And the saturation. Much better. So what you want to do now is start working on the inside texture. The best way that I found to do it is to use some rock outline objects mixed with another object that I'll show in a minute. And you want to do a couple variants just to keep it a little bit, just to keep it fresh. You don't want it to like seem too repetitive, because then it won't feel as good and realistic, etc., etc. Let's see, I'll choose this one as well. And you can also play with the scaling and stuff like that. Doing stuff like that can really help bring some texture to your, can bring some extra texture to your design. Okay, there we go. And then with this, you can kind of just, actually no, I'll individually select them. And kind of just work them around like that, make a little bit of texture. Okay, so I think this definitely needs to get like lowered a lot more. I've probably already talked about this in other videos, but one thing that I recommend a lot is going through other people's levels to see what they did to get their stuff to look so good. It can help a lot in making sure that your stuff looks very good as well. So yeah, I think this is good enough to start using. And basically this is the strat. You just copy paste, do some rotation, some minor rotations and all that type of jazz, and it'll give you a very nice look here. And then if you want to, you can do an extra coating of this layer if you want to, but it might start to get a little bit object heavy. Just a little bit of a warning there, so that you don't make your level like 500,000 objects or something, and then we have another ocular miracle situation. Now, what you're going to want to do is get your trusty Artcore object. I don't really know what else to call it. It's the Artcore object at this point. Scale it up to like 350. If you need scaled up objects, like if you're on mobile or you don't have access to hacker mode, mega hack, any of that, you can grab it out of this level. And I'll probably come like a couple more tutorials. I'll post out just like a bunch of these scaled up. You might have seen them when I was going through the other level, Operation Wild. Alright, so now we've got this. Play around with the values a bit. I want this one to be... Okay. Nice, 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 nice. I love to see it. You love to see it. We all love to see it. And I like to add a little bit of opacity so that things kind of blend in a little bit more. I think it kind of helps a little. I think it helps a little bit. These, I think, need to be brought up a little bit because they're just a bit too dark for my liking. Doesn't blend as well as I want it to. Let's see. I don't know. I think I'll adjust it later. Alright, so now I want to come back to these over here. Because now that we have this first one, I want to, actually, wait, no, whatever. I want to play around with the levels of these a little bit. Oh, that's great. Geometry Dash is an awesome game and totally isn't mildly infuriating to play. Am I right, guys? Yeah. Okay. So what I wanted to do here is I just wanted to play with the brightness here. I want this to be at 70 because we're going to do a little bit of directional lighting type of stuff here. So I want it to be darker on this side. It's a little too dark, I think. It doesn't really blend well with the rest of the design. I'm gonna grab this first layer here and I'm gonna turn it back to like I'm gonna turn it to 80, I think, maybe 90. Okay. And then this outer layer, we'll turn that one to 70. Okay, cool. Okay, we're back again. Okay, so I just looked back at the my original thing that I made, and one thing I noticed is that these are scaled up a little bit in the original design, and yeah, that does make sense. It looks better. Yeah, that gives it a lot more coverage and such. This is much better. Probably gonna save like every 5 actions now because of how this game has been treating me recently. I wanted to record this video like a few days ago and like have it out by now, but just with the way that GD has been acting recently, I just didn't feel comfortable doing it at the time. Just kind of sad because this game has been out for a while and there's still like game-breaking bugs in it. Now, of course, it's probably because I mod the game. So, it's most likely my fault for being such a funny guy. Oh. Grab all this. I want this to be up bigger. Or not up bigger, I want it to be forward more. Oh, it is forward more, it's just like kind of funny looking, I guess. I don't know. Alright, I mean, it looks okay. I think these should all just collectively be a bit darker. I think they should all just be collectively a bit darker. So let me just like darken these more to like maybe 50 something. Saturation lower. The saturation should be up a little bit, I think. And then randomly select these bad boys. Let me save again because I just feel so funny about all of that. Let me just go ahead and do all of it. Do this kind of randomly select, but you don't want to select too many in place because then it'll look a little weird and bad, I think. My personal opinion. Do a little bit of brightness change, and I think I can live with that. All right, now I'm gonna select these. And I'm gonna play with the brightness on these a little bit. No, I don't want to play with the saturation, play with the brightness. Make this 140. Move this out a little bit. And then make it layer down. Make this 180, I believe. And then 80 and move it down 60. There we go. Save. All right, so now we're getting really close. If I remember correctly, I did one more thing with this outer layer. I got it up like this, and then I made an inside part here, and I'm gonna put it in between a couple of these layers. Let's see. -5 just makes it on top of everything, so let me fix the layers a little bit. I want these to be above -5, so let me put these on -3. So now if it touches any of those, it'll get covered, but if it touches anything else, it won't get covered, and that'll just kind of help to give it a little bit more. Just give it a little bit more, and this, it'll help it connect with this more. Cool. All right, so now what we want to do is bring in a little bit of glow for mixing the shading a little bit, doing a little bit of shading mixing. If there's any weak points to the design, we're going to use a little bit of glow to cover that up. Another thing I want to say, using glow on a design. It just keeps happening. Okay, we're back. All right, let's see. Back to where I was before. We're gonna do this, and okay, that's a good thing. That does it right. All right. So basically, if there's any like weak point, if you see any weak point in your design, you can just place a little bit of glow to help mix things together a little. Get like the midmost color. I think this is a little bit too bright. This is a little bit too bright, so I'm gonna bring it down just the slightest bit. Don't want to bring it down too much because then it's gonna be too noticeable because it's too dark. You gotta find that sweet spot. There we go. That's the sweet spot right there. And honestly, you can just place some of this shading glow wherever you want. For whatever reason. It doesn't even need to be because you want it to blend in better. It can just be to passively blend stuff in better. You might not need to blend anything in better. In my case, I saw there were just a couple of areas that I would have preferred to be blended a little bit better. So I decided to blend those a little bit. Now, I'm going to add some half opacity black glow here. To give it a little bit of added darkness on this side. Half opacity black glow is perfect for shadows because it's not too strong, but it's not too weak. All right, basically just line the tree with some glow, just for atmospherics. You don't need to. The only thing I would recommend is having the shadows. I think the shadows are a little bit more important than, you know. All right, I think that kind of makes it a little bit harder to get. I think it makes it a little bit foggy, so I'm just gonna move it into the design a little bit more. I think this one area right here is bothering me a lot. Let me fix that. Okay. All right, I like that. I like the look of that. You can use the same tactics to make like smaller trees and thinner trees as you have seen here. Now, what I would recommend when you're doing this is that you just vary the HSV on this a lot, because this looks very flat and repetitive. And also, you know, your shading and stuff like that. You'll need all that. Yeah, I'd say that this is a pretty successful tree right here. Very quickly, I want to show you how to do some nice pine leaves, because I saw this from Rosaline. Honestly, I don't know if I'm going to show you anymore. You know what? I can do it in the foliage video. All right, guys, I'd say that that's the video right there. If you liked it, like, subscribe, leave a comment to let me know what you want to see next. I have a few things planned. You know, do all that crazy stuff. I will see you guys in the next video. Geometry Dash, Rod Top, please fix your game. I'm so mad right now.